a lot of people don't really think. They're like, oh my God, MicroStrategy is going to get liquidated. And Bitcoin is like, well, dude, no, Bitcoin could go to a dollar a Bitcoin. We're not getting liquidated. We're just going to buy all the Bitcoin. If it goes to a dollar a Bitcoin, then it's going to go back up again.
Welcome back to the channel. That was Michael Saylor talking about how strategy's not going to be getting liquidated anytime soon. If Bitcoin goes down to $1, they're going to buy all of it. So in today's video, we're getting some strategy news, some Bitcoin news, some GameStop news, and I have a clip at the end about GameStop. I highly recommend you guys watch this one to the end. Let's go ahead and jump into strategy here first. We're up 10% today. Strategy just below $300 here. Market cap is currently sitting at around $79 billion. Checking out STRK, we can see the effective yield on STRK is at 9.6%. At STRF, we're looking at around 11.7%. And looking at Bitcoin right now, we're up a bit today at around $82,761. So looking pretty good here since Trump has done the 90-day tariff pause. We've seen the market bounce here a little bit. And if we look at the most actively traded US stocks for today, strategy is coming in the top 10 at around $3.34 billion of trading volume. So just showing there is a lot of interest in the strategy stock there. And then looking at where they rank on the top US market cap companies rated by market cap here, you can see they're at 116. Why is this important? This is important because if strategy after the next earning call, if the price of Bitcoin goes up enough where they could remove the past 4 quarters of negative growth that they've been showing and they can show a huge profit because Bitcoin's price has been going up, they could qualify for S&P inclusion. And with S&P inclusion, they'll get allocated funds depending on where they rank in the top market cap companies in the US. And right now they're at 116. If Bitcoin price continues to go up in Q2, we'll definitely continue to see them climb the ranks here and get a bigger allocation from the S&P. So that's something to watch out for over the next quarter or so. So this is what I want to talk about here. We have this global M2 breaking out right now, and we've seen Bitcoin follow this to a T with an offset of around 108 days. So if we continue to see this for the rest of the year, we could have a May blast off for BTC where we see Bitcoin go into a bull run from early May until late August. If that happens and Bitcoin goes up to $144,000, that will be absolutely huge. Strategy would perform very well. Obviously, that'd be good for MSTR. But I want to talk about GameStop here. So ever since GameStop announced their Bitcoin treasury strategy, insiders have been buying up shares of GME. If you are paying attention. But one thing I want to talk about here is, so with GameStop, they closed the $1.6 billion offering, and they have around $4 to $5 billion of cash where they could use that cash to buy Bitcoin. And a lot of people right now have kind of forgotten about GameStop because they haven't announced any Bitcoin purchases. But what I'm thinking here is, I'm not sure if they actually have to announce their Bitcoin purchases like Saylor does every single week. Other companies like Tether, they report their Bitcoin purchases on a quarterly basis. So GameStop might not have to report how much Bitcoin they have been buying recently. I could be completely wrong on this, guys, but this is something to consider. Because if they've already bought all this Bitcoin, or if they're looking to buy this Bitcoin soon, and they're not going to announce that until their next earnings report, we could see GameStop absolutely blast off. If they buy, let's just say $4 billion worth of Bitcoin at $80,000, and then Bitcoin runs up here to around $140,000, that $4 billion of Bitcoin they bought is probably going to be worth anywhere from $6 to $8 billion. Now, if they wait till their earnings call to basically tell the public that, we could see GameStop really explode during or after their earnings call, after they come out with all their numbers and they talk about how much Bitcoin they've been buying. So a key date to watch out for GameStop is going to be their next earnings date. It's unconfirmed right now for June 6th. So that could be a huge day to watch out for. Maybe a day that you want to maybe put some calls in for on GME, because they could potentially be buying this Bitcoin right now, not telling anybody. If Bitcoin performs well over the next couple months, we could really see GME have a huge spike after the next earnings call. So just something to watch out for, a little bit of some speculation on my end, but I think that could be huge. All right, but outside of that, let's get into some Bitcoin news here. We have Neptune DAC. They increased their Bitcoin hodl to 401 BTC. Just more companies putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. That is good to see. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the Bitcoin state reserve race. We have all these states that are getting very, very close. Arizona actually passed their Chamber 2. They're actually just waiting on the governor to sign off on it. And the governor of Arizona is a Democrat, and this is a Republican bill in Arizona, and she has been known to veto Republican bills that get passed through. So we'll see if this one gets passed or not. We have New Hampshire getting close, Oklahoma getting close, and Texas getting close. And one thing I want to put into perspective here is how much Bitcoin could be bought through all these bills potentially being passed here. So with Arizona, they're looking to invest up to 10% of their public funds, the Arizona State Treasurer's Office, and the Arizona State Retirement System to potentially Bitcoin. So looking at these numbers here, that 10% would be around $8.685 billion going into Bitcoin. So that'd be a pretty big purchase from Arizona if they were to buy $8 billion of BTC. Now, this bill says up to 10%. That doesn't mean they're going to use the entire 10% to buy Bitcoin. They may even get some stable coins. It's kind of unclear what these bills are actually going to do. There's a kind of vague information in these bills, but you can see it could be up to $8.65 billion. Then you have Texas. So Texas doesn't actually specify any percent of what they're going to put towards Bitcoin, but they do have an endowment which has $56 billion as of October 2024. So if you were to take 1% of that, that would be $560 million that would go into purchasing Bitcoin. That's for the Texas Reserve bill there. Then you have New Hampshire's bill, HB 302. So they're looking to do 10% as well, similar to Arizona. And their funds hold 3.39 billion. So 10% would be around 339 million, which would get them around 4,200 Bitcoin, which would be pretty big for New Hampshire. And then you have the state of Oklahoma. They're looking to do 5% from their funds. You can see their funds here are close to $10 billion. So that would give a Bitcoin purchase of around 526 million, which they would buy around 6,600 Bitcoin if this bill passes. So you can kind of visualize and see there how much Bitcoin could be bought by these states if these bills end up passing. And a lot of these bills say up to that percent, and a lot of these bills also say digital assets. But I think when they're saying digital assets, they really mean Bitcoin. But that's yet to be seen if they'll be buying other cryptos or stable coins, or if it'll all just be Bitcoin. And that's really all I had for today's video. I have a clip here talking about GameStop. GameStop's going to be the next big company to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So make sure to check this one out. My name is Aaron from Bitcoin Bros. Make sure to like and subscribe. We have new MSTR Bitcoin content coming out every single day. So I'll see you guys in the next one. But let's go ahead and check out this clip.
Well, they coming back on. Listen, as to their almost $5 billion they have in cash. Again, no debt, by the way. We think they should put at least half of that amount, at least $2.5 billion should go into Bitcoin at this point. The problem that Ryan Cohen, excellent CEO, has is that he should have made these moves a year or 2 years ago. When Bitcoin was 30, 40, $50,000.
But that's what if, right? That doesn't matter anymore, right? That's in the past. But for the future, you say this is a good approach, though.
Absolutely. It's a great special situation stock. We played AMC. We did well there. We used Trump Media, did well there. We think GameStop is going to 50 on this move, ultimately $100, because this is now a $13 billion hedge fund that's got the ability to invest in Bitcoin, which is just getting started, is the best supply-demand story there is. We applaud Ryan Cohen on this excellent move.